Hey, what's going on everybody? It's etaprime back here again. Today we're going to be taking a look at the all-new MINIX ER936-AI. If you're not familiar with the MINIX brand, these guys usually make industrial PCs, really good build quality, and the new ER936-AI is no different. First thing I'm noticing here is the heft of the PC itself. It is fully constructed of metal, and yeah, I mean, it's a really nice little look. We've still got a very small form factor here. And they are offering two different APU options in the same kind of form factor, but we've got the ER936. Inside the box, we get the mini PC, mounting bracket, and hardware for that bracket, an HDMI cable, and a 120 watt power supply. When it comes to I/O, up front here, we've got a 3.5mm audio jack, two full-size USB 3.2 ports, and USB 4. Runs at a 40 gig protocol. Moving around back, dual 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, another full-size USB 3.2, DisplayPort 2.0, HDMI 2.1, and another 40 gig USB 4 port. So again, the first thing I noticed was the weight of this unit, and that's mainly because this is fully constructed of metal, but MINIX has done something really awesome here to get some easy upgrades. The bottom plate here is magnetically attached, and then we've got two thumb screws so we can actually get in here to upgrade the RAM and storage. Along with that, it's got a built-in fan to help that M.2 and RAM stay cooler. But we've got two M.2 2280 slots, and on their website it says up to 8 terabytes. I'm guessing 4 terabytes each in this unit. And we've also got dual-channel DDR5 RAM that can be upgraded. Now when it comes to the overall specs here, like I mentioned, they are offering two very similar models with different APUs, but the one we have here is powered by the AMD Ryzen AI 9 365. 10 cores, 20 threads based on Zen 5. We've got a base clock of 2 gigahertz and a boost up to 5. Radeon RDNA 3.5 880M iGPU with 12 compute units, and this will clock up to 2900 megahertz. I've got 32 gigs of DDR5 in dual channel running at 5600 megahertz. Two M.2 2280 slots. It's got Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.2, and this is running Windows 11 out of the box. So I've been up and running for a little while now. Everything's been working great here. I've got a bunch of stuff installed. Everything's updated. So we will be doing some testing in a bit. But if you take a look here, we've got that Ryzen AI 9 365. 10 cores, 20 threads. This unit has 32 gigs of RAM. And of course, we've got the Radeon 880M iGPU. 8 gigs dedicated to VRAM. And we've got that XDNA NPU. With the Ryzen 9 365, I mean, we've got more than enough power for web browsing, 4K video playback. You want to do some document editing, even photo editing. This chip will handle it. So in this video, what I wanted to do was test out a little bit of AI image generation. And of course, we're going to do some gaming. Personally, I like to use an application known as Amuse with these AMD APUs. It's fully optimized for AMD and even the NPU now. So this is super simple to use. We've got some image generation here. We've got some video generation. You can always go to expert mode, get more out of it, but we're going to stick right here in easy mode. And if you wanted to use something like A1111 or Comfy UI, you could always install that. But again, this is just really easy and it's optimized for AMD. So I'm going to just prompt something up here. We'll do Godzilla fighting a hamster monster. And what I want to do here is go to one image. With this slider, we can go to fast, balanced, quality. In quality mode, we also get that AMD XDNA 2 stable diffusion. This is going to utilize the NPU instead of the GPU. And if we had a more powerful GPU here, it might not be worth using the NPU. We could upscale on it with the XDNA super resolution. But with this little setup, it's actually pretty cool. And you know, apps that run on the NPU have been kind of few and far in between. So I've kind of been messing around with this for a while. So we're going to go to quality, single image. As soon as I hit generate, it's got to load the pipeline, but everything's going to be done on this NPU. There we go. So we've got 20 steps here, and you can see that NPU gets pegged out. We could set this up so it works on the iGPU if you want to. And to tell you the truth, I mean, if you're looking to do a ton of high quality image generation, you want a dedicated GPU, but if all you have is an APU with integrated graphics, this does work. With something like A1111 or Comfy UI, there are different models that will allow you to kind of, generate faster, less steps. So you can go that route. But we're here with Amuse, and I just wanted to see what it would do on this NPU. And it does look like just a single image is probably going to take 80 seconds, maybe a little longer. We'll test the iGPU in just a second right against it. So we're up to 81 seconds. Not crazy fast by any means, but we're not working with a dedicated GPU. This was supposed to be a hamster monster fighting Godzilla. I guess they gave him a little bit of hair. But let's go ahead and disable the XDNA 2 Stable Diffusion. And remember, we were at 81.6 seconds here, all on the NPU. As soon as it finishes loading this pipeline, the GPU is now going to be doing all the work until that very last step where it needs to upscale. Then it's going to swap over to the NPU. And it looks like the NPU here could be faster. We'll have to wait and see, how fast this is, but it does seem like the NPU was doing a little better. Okay, so we're done now, and all on that Radeon iGPU, it took 154 seconds. Remember, that NPU was 81.6 seconds. I'm actually pretty surprised to see that NPU beating it out. But again, when it comes down to it, if you're looking for a dedicated AI machine, I would definitely get something with a more powerful GPU or dedicated GPU. Either way, you could definitely do some image generation here and get by with it. But the next thing I wanted to take a look at here were some benchmarks that I ran on this machine. I also ran 3D Mark Time Spy, and we got a total score of 3,937. This little PC does boost up to 65 watts, and I've been seeing some really decent performance out of the CPU and iGPU so far, so now it's time to get into some real-world gaming. First one we have is Cyberpunk 2077. We're at 1080p, medium settings with FSR set to balanced. We're pulling 65 watts from this system, and I've noticed that we've got a sustained 65 watt TDP across the board with this setup here. Not bad for integrated graphics, but we can get a lot more out of this. So what I'm going to do here is just enable FSR frame generation. So this is from inside of the game. We're using FSR 3.0 here. We're still at 1080 medium, but we've got frame gen enabled. And now instead of seeing an average of around 59 FPS with Cyberpunk, we're up over 90 FPS. And I'll tell you, even when there's lots of explosions on screen, this game is still running super steadily like this. I know when it comes down to it, frame gen isn't the best option for more expensive GPUs, but we're working with an iGPU, and personally, I don't mind using it if it makes my game run like this. Next one I wanted to test was Marvel Rivals. We're not using frame gen here. We're at 1080 medium FSR set to balanced. Still, during battle, it will dip under. So maybe dropping this down to 900p would help out, or you could go to low if you wanted to. I also wanted to test out one fighting game, so I went with Mortal Kombat 1, and this one's always given me issues on iGPUs, especially at 1080. But since we can run this thing up to 65 watts, we can get the clocks up on that iGPU and allow us to run this at 1080 medium with FSR set to balanced at a constant 60 FPS. And the final one we have here is God of War Ragnarok, 1080 medium, FSR frame gen on. That's how you really need to run this game if you want to get over 60 past 720 on a system like this. And it still looks great, and we're over 100 FPS with this game. The last thing I wanted to talk about here was total system power consumption from the wall, because that can be important to some people trying to, save energy in other parts of the world where energy is more expensive. So we're in performance mode from the Windows settings, and at idle, this is pulling around 8 watts. 4K video playback jumps up to 13. Average gaming through all of my tests that we ran, average of 73 watts. And the maximum I could get this to pull from the wall while maxing out all 10 cores, 20 threads, and that iGPU was 93 watts. Overall, not a bad little setup. Love the build quality and the fact that we can get in here really easy to upgrade that storage and RAM. And keep in mind, they do offer one of these with the HX370 APU from AMD, so you get that more powerful iGPU. But this is a really nice little setup for basically anybody looking to replace a larger desktop. And if you're interested in learning a little more about this mini PC, I'll leave some links in the description. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. If there's anything else you want to see running on this rig, just let me know in the comments below. And like always, thanks for watching.